Hello, hunters, and welcome back to my story. Let's begin part 4. Spirit is sitting on a throne with a cage containing King Jerry behind him. They're in Spirit's lair, a giant room with stained glass windows, and it's on the highest floor of the castle. Atka transforms and he says he'll fight Spirit alone. As he's fighting, Alexis begins to wonder why Atka always wants to fight alone. She realizes it's not for a strategy or to protect them, but for his warrior's pride. As one of a warrior race, he would much rather fight his battles alone, and the same goes with Stride, Lee, Curtis, and Akiro. She realizes how dedicated he is to fighting. He fights to test his limits and to protect his levels at the same time, and she respects that. She begins to think even more highly of him now, as he's battling alone, and going toe-to-toe with a new Prince of Dark Spirits. Their intense battle continues, and Atka goes full power and hits Spirit with a furious combo. But then Spirit gets up without a scratch. He was holding back the whole time to see how strong Atka was, and he begins to see how the other Dark Spirits were defeated. He powers up and starts beating down Atka with no effort. He seemingly wins and knocks Atka back into his base form, and then he starts talking bad about the ones who he defeated even more easily. This makes Atka angry, and he gets back up and transforms once again. Spirit realizes that Atka could get even stronger through anger, and wants to see how far he can push him. He punches him in the gut and blasts his face, launching him into the wall. Then he shatters the window above Atka, and pieces of broken glass get all over him and cut him up. He's back in his base form once again, and bleeding a lot. Spirit begins to insult him, and Roshan has had enough. He charges at Spirit, but then he gets knocked away and through another window, covering him in broken glass and leaving him to fall to his death. Alexis then tries to run at Spirit, but then he fires a powerful blast her way. Kevin jumps in front of her and takes the hit, and when the smoke clears he falls to the ground. Alexis tells him to get up, but he can't. He tells him to run, and he dies. Alexis starts crying. Spirit has an evil smirk on his face, and Atka is angry. Angrier than he's ever been before. Angry at Spirit for killing his friend, injuring the others, and hurting his best friend. And angry at himself for being too weak to stop it. He powers up, and gets a new transformation through his fury. This form has red hair matching the color of the blood he shed. With his new power, he's able to match Spirit's power, and he tells Alexis to take her dad and leave. They leave and now the real fight begins. They're evenly matched, and the fight doesn't seem to be in anyone's favor. When Alexis exits the castle, she meets Hans and Sam. They're driving a carriage containing Roshan and everyone else who was injured by Spirit. Hans and Sam are helping because they were told to by Queen Annabelle, who was very quickly healed after Spirit's attack. Roshan had escaped Spirit's original attack before he went to Dark Castle, and before Roshan went there, he told the Queen about the attacks, and then she contacted the only allies who weren't attacked, Hans and Sam, and told them to bring the injured fighters to the castle to be healed. Roshan had survived being thrown out the window, but he was severely injured and got put in the carriage when Hans and Sam stopped by to make sure Atka and the others were safe. Alexis fills them in on what happened, puts her dad in the carriage, and she rides with him back to the castle, hoping Atka will win with his new power. The fight continues and Atka begins to get the upper hand. In a fit of rage, Spirit fires his strongest blast, the Spirit Cannon. It damages the building, but does virtually nothing to Atka. Spirit's running out of steam, but Atka's still going strong. Spirit realizes that he's out of options, and he decides to use his last resort. He would rather kill himself than die by Atka's hand, so he begins to self-destruct. Atka makes it to a lower floor, but he's still caught in the Great Blast. All but the first floor of the Dark Castle are destroyed in the blast, and Spirit is dead. Atka lies unconscious in the room where he fought Ultra. Alexis is able to sense his energy, and she leaves the carriage to go help him. She makes it there and carries him to the castle, where everyone except Akiro and Raiki, who are never involved, is restored and waiting for them. Atka is given miracle water, but he's not completely restored. The king explains that Atka was so badly injured that miracle water alone can't restore him, and that a good amount of rest will heal the rest of his wounds. Alexis respects him even more for fighting so hard, and she lets him use her bed to recover. Atka's mom and Alexis take care of him while he gets better, and once he does a day later, they'll have a funeral for Kevin, who gave himself to save everyone. Afterwards, they have a party to celebrate their victory. After dinner, someone barges into the castle. She's a girl who's the same age as Stry and Kevin, and she knows who the king and Alexis are. Her name is Shelia, and she's the chief of the Cherokee City Royal Guard, and the daughter of the former chief who died in the war many years ago. She has just returned from a 5-year-long mission that she started as a 15-year-old. She doesn't know most of them. Stry catches her attention. Shelia notices Stry, but then she tells the king that she has completed her mission and didn't get any info, and that she's going to train the Royal Guard once again. Stride decides to tag along since Shelia asked him to, so they go together to train the guards. He notices her interest in him, but he doesn't say anything. They train for a while, and the guards get much sharper and stronger. Late that night, Stride and Shelia are on their way back to the castle, and Stride asks her why she seemed interested in him. Right when she's about to answer, the ground begins to shake and someone shows up. It's the root of all evil among the dark spirits, as well as the king of the dark spirits, Zin. He attacks and knocks them both out, then he teleports them somewhere. He goes to the castle and in just one blast, he destroys it and knocks everyone out. Then he teleports them all somewhere. They all wake up back in the Black Corridor, all with separate jail cells with a magic seal around them that prevents them from escaping. Zin is there when they wake up, and he tells them all that this is his grand plan for revenge. He will let them slowly die in these cells while the world they've been working to save will be destroyed, with there being nothing that they can do. He uses his own magic power to create clones of all the villains that were defeated in the past, who he is here to avenge. There is one clone each of Skelecon, Ezekiel, Phantor, Ultra, Enzo, Holorim, Dark Beast, Mononzo, Goliath, Goo, and Spirit. He also summons 1,000,000 grunts. Then all of them, except the clones of Enzo and Goo, leave and go off to destroy Mountainfoot Village, Straw Village, Raz Village, Pinenap Village, Grape Village, Cherry Village, Outskirt Town, and Cherrican City. It's hopeless. There's no way for the places to be saved. They're all put into ruins, and it seems like they've lost. But it turns out, Zin forgot about two warriors. Akira and Raihi noticed what was going on and went to the source of the problem, the mostly destroyed Dark Castle. They break in and meet the two clones who are keeping watch over all their friends. Akira transforms and instantly attacks the Goo clone, and tells Raihi to fight the other clone, because he doesn't want to fight his dad. Then Akka tells him that they're just clones and not the real things. This makes him feel better about it, but they all still fight the same ones. They both have the upper hand, until somehow the Enzo clone turns blue. This is when they learn that these clones are not exact duplicates, but stronger versions of the original fighters. Raihi begins to have trouble against the clone, until Akira steps in and defeats him. Akira hesitates to finish him off, but then the Goo clone kills the Enzo clone for no reason. He didn't even attempt to absorb the clone, he just obliterated him. Now the two team up against the Goo clone, and they are able to win and destroy the clone. Now that the two clones that were keeping guard are gone, Akira destroys the seals in all the jail cells, and they escape. Now that they're all free and outside of the Dark Castle, they all decide to go to the various settlements that have been destroyed. Akira and Raihi go to Straw Village, Akka, Roshan, and Alexis go to Mountainfoot Village, Stride, Jr., and Shelia go to Cherrican City, Hans and Sam go to Raz Village, Curtis and Sarah go to Outskirt Town, Jerry and Annabelle go to Cherry Village, Lee and Goldie go to Pinenap Village, and Hikage and Hikari go to Grape Village. Akira and Raihi are up against the clone of Hallward. Akka, Roshan, and Alexis are up against the clone of Goliath. Hans and Sam are up against the clones of Skelecon and Ezekiel. Jerry and Annabelle are up against the clone of Phantor. Stride, Jr., and Shelia are up against the clone of Ultra alongside 250,000 grunts. Curtis and Sarah are up against the clone of Dark Beast alongside 250,000 grunts. Lee and Goldie are up against the clone of Mononzo alongside 250,000 grunts. And Hikage and Hikari are up against the clone of Spirit alongside 250,000 grunts. All 8 of these battles begin, and the Alliance is now in a war against the darkness. Akka has Roshan go off to help the others while him and Alexis take on Goliath together. Akka plans to attack his weak point again, but this improved clone quickly grabs Alexis and holds her over his weak point, while crushing her, leaving Akka with seemingly nothing to do but watch. Then he turns red and hits Goliath's joint areas at full power. This tears them off, frees Alexis, and leaves Goliath's weak point open once again. He blasts it at full power and destroys the clone. At the same time, Akira and Raihi destroyed the Hallrim clone. Hans and Sam have just defeated the clone of Skelecon, but are having trouble against the improved Ezekiel clone. As things seem hopeless, Roshan steps in and easily destroys both clones. As the 3 of them are about to go off somewhere else, Akka, Alexis, Akira, and Raihi meet up with them, and all 7 of them go off to Outskirt Town to help Curtis and Sarah. Jerry and the clone of Phantor are evenly matched, but with his wife's help they're able to destroy the clone. Then they head to Outskirt Town as well, and all of them see what's happening. Curtis tells the other 10 to hold off the grunts while he fights the Dark Beast clone alone. He turns blue, and thanks to the others distracting the grunts, he's doing well against the beast. He defeats the beast, and then instead of taking on all the grunts, they all leave to go help out Lee and Goldie, who can't get near the Mononzo clone thanks to all of the grunts. Akka is able to destroy the clone thanks to the others' help, and there is only 2 clones and the 1,000,000 grunts left to defeat before taking on Zin. However, these 2 battles will not be easy. Thanks for watching part 4 of this story. Stay tuned for part 5 to see how these next 2 battles will unfold. I'll see you guys then. Happy hunting.